Hello, everyone. Welcome to another workshop by Tyres. Today we have with us Miss Shilpa Teja. Hello, Shilpa. How are you?
Hi, I'm good.
Welcome to our workshop.
Thank you for the invitation.
You're welcome. We are so pleased to have you with us today. So, I'll introduce Shilpa to you guys a little bit. There's a lot to say about her, but I'll just explain in a very few words. She's a textile designer by profession and a permaculture designer by passion. She lives at a farm and is currently working on implementing permaculture principles on that farm, which she calls Urna Farm. And she's also helping in empowering village women by teaching them natural dyeing of cloth, recycling, and upcycling with used clothes. So you can connect with her on her Instagram page called Urna Farm, where she shares all her amazing work. And I'm really excited to learn about your urban permaculture, Shilpa. So
Yeah.
let's get started. Over to you.
Hi. Hello everyone. I'm Shilpa. As Zara had mentioned about me, I'm a textile designer by profession and permaculture practitioner by passion. So I love growing plants. So that made me come back to learning how to grow, what to grow, when to grow. So that is how my journey started towards permaculture. I got a keen interest into it. So today we are going to talk about permaculture in urban context. So what is permaculture and what is how can we implement a permaculture in urban context? From introduction, like a basic introduction of permaculture, it is like we know agriculture. So agriculture is like growing food for uh, people, right? When it comes to permaculture, it is growing food for us and also building an ecosystem where birds can come eat, where insects can also like it is coexisting. This is what permaculture is. It is to keep it simple, it is like permanent agriculture. So yeah, that interested me very much, like how can we coexist with not much of interference, so I don't need to go to the farm every day and keep on doing work. Initially you need to work on a farm or land or soil. That is a major part in permaculture, where you work in the initial periods. Later it's done by itself, so it is self sustaining mainly, uh, and sustainable also in a longer scale. Not like as soon as you start a farm you cannot make magics. So farming is really a difficult job to do. Okay. So that is what an introduction about permaculture. And we follow some ethics and principles where we it is always about nature taking over. It is not about human centric, uh, it is about nature centric. Whatever inspiration comes is for us from the nature itself. So how forests grow, is there any human intervention in growing forests? So these are all aspects we learn, we constantly think about, and we constantly are working on it. So I just wanted to know how many people know what permaculture is, or any like basic idea if people have. That is one main question. I can, if people are online, just message me. I can know what is going on. Yep.
Yeah.
Any
Uh, until
questions?
until we have some questions coming in, you can continue, and then as the
Okay.
questions come in, I will let you know.
Yeah. So the three ethics of permaculture are like earth care, fair share, human people care, and one more we are including is future care. So what is earth care? How can we care about earth? So I'm not talking about permaculture in farming context now. I'm talking about permaculture in urban context. How people can do earth care by not just farming or something. Like how can we do it? I have some like we can do this. We can refuse shopping, reduce shopping. Like when you are reducing something, you are reducing the waste, plastic waste. So by reducing plastic waste, you are eventually taking care of earth, right? And you
Yes.
can also reuse is very what I say, this is the must we need to do these days. We are not at all reusing. Like you are just buying it and not using for some, or using for some time and like कोई नया model आ गया, then we are going back to buy something else again. We need always to think how we can reuse it for long run. Or how can you recycle it? Maybe it is gone, uh, it is not of any use. How can you recycle it? Don't just throw into the dustbins and it goes to the dump yards, and what comes out of it is again uh, methane gases, many gases that are very harmful for the soil. Gases, liquids, all these concentrated liquids coming out of the, even from the vegetable waste also. So how can you recycle your vegetable waste in your home only? So what we can do, composting, or just give it to the plants directly. So that is how health care can be taken in an urban context, right? So
Okay.
when you like avoid plastic and go for natural alternatives. So you are going for a shopping. Why don't you take your own cloth bag?
Yes.
One cover, like a plastic cover, its lifetime might be use plastic is very less. When you go for a cloth bag, its lifetime is like 40 years. How many times can you reuse it? What is the scale of plastic you are avoiding by taking one bag out, like cloth bag? So this is how you can take care of earth from urban context. Okay, so next comes the fair share. How can you live fairly with your environment? So these days we are in a bulb believing that only humans have a right to live. No other species, we are not considering them as our
Part
fellow,
of the nature.
yeah, part of the nature or our fellow beings. So how
Yes.
can you do this job fairly? So you have some pets. Pets are also normal, okay. How about birds? How about butterflies? How about bees? What can you do for the bees? What can you do for butterflies? So just plant some uh, sap, plant something which attracts birds. Plant something which attracts bees. Plant something which attracts butterflies. So this is how you are going to build ecosystem. Everything cannot be done in the farm only. See, urban area is rather growing these days than the farming areas, right? So there is very large scope where you can also implement all these things, and you can also help in climate changes. When you start like thinking about other creatures, you'll be little more sensitive. You'll think about your future, your kids future. How can you survive without birds, without bees, without butterflies? There is no, I don't think there is a way where you can pollinate or without birds and bees, right?
Yeah.
That is really a that is need of the hour which you should be thinking all the time. Then right now we are seeing so many extinctions of birds, bees. When it down the line 10 years, we may not find them if you are not taking any action on these very simple basic things. Rather, you plant a fancy tree in your garden, plant something native which will attract birds, which will attract animals, which will attract butterflies, right? This is going to help your ecosystem. So ecosystem changes from area to area. It is very different in Hyderabad, very different in Chennai, very different in Dubai. See, the climate is different, the birds are different, the soil is different. So how can you contribute uh, uh, thinking of all these things? Very basic. You don't need to go like for some fancy these things and do all these things. So my idea is like bring build an ecosystem where you can invite the other creatures and come live with you, right? And one more thing fair share comes is again composting. How like you are eating something which has come out from the earth, and you should give back something to the earth, right? It should
Yes.
always be a circle. It cannot be a linear thing. When this linear thing, like you're shopping, shop to dustbin. What is this dustbin doing? It is making a dump, which is very poisonous to soil, right? You can make this like a vegetable you're consuming, and the rest of the vegetable waste you can just compost it. And what does the compost become? Soil. So you
Soil.
need to, yeah, you need to make that a circle. This small thing we are missing in our daily lives. If you cannot make a compost, give it to, so there are societies who are making compost in large scale. You can just give it to them, or just make a pit and dump your wet waste. Just cover it with soil. Within no time it becomes the soil. So that
Yes.
is the fair share which you can do in an urban context. Okay. And what about people care? So these are the three main things in permaculture. What is people care? How can you take care of people? Any like so in my like what I do to take care of people: sharing knowledge. You cannot uh, uh, you cannot keep the knowledge for yourself. For if you share it, it is going to be like going forward for many generations, or at least to some people it might be helpful, for some people might not be. But sharing knowledge is one aspect. And go local economy. How can you be a part of your local economy? See, when you are thinking of permaculture, how can you be a part of local economy? Go buy foods that are grown locally, not that are coming out of like a city, uh, out of states. There are many farmers who are growing the same thing in our surroundings also, right?
Yeah.
So that is one thing you should always be conscious of. And also please, I request, please make sure your carbon footprint is as low as possible. You just think of how much carbon footprint you are going to have for, if you are going to buy something like an apple, which is not our food. Like apple is not for us, not for Hyderabad region, for suppose, because it is traveling all the way, we are consuming it. What is the footprint of apple? Carbon footprint. So it is coming all the way from Kashmir. How much carbon emission is happening for that? So eat locally. Eat local fruits, vegetables, whichever is available seasonally. We have like we, and also think about like we
Can
if
you explain a little deeper about carbon footprint? What
yeah.
do you actually mean by that?
So carbon footprint is like when a product is from the origin of a product to from consumer. How much carbon uh, is being used? Like we use fuel. Fuel is carbon emission only. Okay, that is all. This is calculated as carbon footprint. When you make a sticker for an apple, even that takes energy, right? So all these things
Yeah.
are that is called a carbon footprint. So how many people are working for that? How much energy they are using? And Where are these people coming from? Again, they are not like local people cannot do everything, right? There must be some people
Yes.
who are going for livelihoods to other places. So all this comes under a carbon footprint. How can you reduce it? By buying locally, like whatever availability you have, you just, and you're also helping the local economy, rather than you helping somewhere people in Kashmir. You can just help your co-farmer from your nearby village, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah,
So
that
what
is
if
what.
like people in the south
Mhm.
want to eat an apple? How can they have one?
Eat an apple, but it should not be your staple, okay? Once in a while
Okay.
is very good. We
All
are
right.
not denying it, but when you have jamuns which are excessively grown, like, because that is what we have, or mangoes, or there are some wild fruits that are now going to extinct, like,
Yes.
yeah, you need to think about that also. See, apple is good in their context. For us,
Okay.
we are losing our native trees, native fruits, because we are getting apples, right? No, I'm not like talking about, this is an example.
Yes,
For
yes,
us,
I get
yeah,
it. I get it.
yeah, this
I
is
just
just an
wanted to know, like,
example.
if we want to consume that, then yeah, we need to,
Balance it out.
consume it in a very uh, less
Yeah,
quantity.
yeah, balance it out. Like, you also
Yes.
think about local people, you also
Yeah.
think about the other people. Like, सबको खुश रखना है, like, our
Yes.
people are okay, उसको भी खुश रखना है. You can buy from them some things, we can buy from our local people, and you can just be very much closer to the local economy. So by this, where your literally food is coming, like कौन सा village है, from which village is this food coming out. So and how fresh it is, that also matters, right?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. And so that is people care, which I wanted to talk. And healthy food, how can you give a healthy food for your family? So when you are seeing, when you want broccolis or some kales or something which is not native for us, how can
Yes.
you expect so that is native for some other people, not for us, right? So how can you expect that giving more nutrition than our native vegetables or native variety vegetables? There are so many kinds of now there are hybrid tomatoes which doesn't give, maybe, and not at all. There is no comparison between native and hybrid, basically. So how can you think about a healthy food uh, which is very nearer to your house also? Like, you can forage. There are many leaves you can forage just stepping outside your house. There are many leaves which grow wildly, which are very nutritious also, very medicinal. So how can you include them also into your food system, which helps your health simultaneously, right? So that is about the people game. And also I wanted to talk about soil. So we now there is a big movement going on to save soil. So why is it happening so suddenly? So there is a need, literally a need for the soil, because of there are so many chemicals being used for the in the agriculture context. So we need to be like more conscious about soil mineral depletion, water depletion, how much chemicals are being used, and will the soil, can the soil be regenerated by itself when you are using so much of harsh chemicals, or keeping your land barren, all these things. So how can you save soil in an urban context? Like, how can you be like, you are in a city, how can you save soil?
Yeah.
Very simple.
That's a question.
Yeah, that's a question, and it is very simple. Like, uh, you can just what how can I tell you? If you see some land which is uncovered, right, any space, any amount of space, just
Okay.
cover it with some carbon. What is carbon? Carbon is which whatever thing that burns is a carbon. Dry grass, cardboards, haze.
Okay.
So what happens when you cover the soil na? There are like millions of microbes thriving on the soil. So when you cover it, it's like a roof for them. So there is a certain temperature where these microbes will be happily thriving, happily growing. So when you cover this, they are like under a roof and they are chilling out. So that is the main reason we talk more about mulching. We talk more about live uh, uh, what cover crops. So when your land is bare, like open to sun, open to wind, erosion happens very drastically. Even for a small wind, there is a layer of soil that goes off with the wind. So
Oh,
to stop all this, mm, we just cover the soil with whatever we have, waste materials. It might be grass, it might be cardboards, whichever. If you have even plastic, which is not at all recommendable, but if the soil is like open, you must stop that exposure
okay.
to the sun and harsh winds, right?
But
And
in urban cities, Shilpa, nowadays we don't get to see a lot of open land.
uh,
Everything is covered with either, a road or a
yeah,
pavement. So there's
yes.
very less soil or land that we can see.
Huh. Then what about the pots you are doing? You pots you are growing. What about public spaces? How can you take an initiative? How can you go for a park? You have exposed soil over there. How can you do something about it, right? What about
Mm,
you? There are many societies where people are obsessed to make to keep the soil clean, and they remove all the leaf litter from the space and they'll burn it off. So how
yes.
can you take an initiative in this context? So that is one thing we must talk about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very thoughtful.
Yeah. And what about if you go to hospitals also, like I don't know if the hospitals have some space. Earlier there used to be a big grounds around the hospital. How can you do something over there? Just grow some, just throw the seeds, they'll grow by itself. There is not much to do for you, right?
Yes.
So that is what about soil. And how can you make the soil more fertile? In like, you are bringing soil from outside, potting mix something, compost from somewhere else, and you don't know what they are doing with your compost. So how can you make it in your home only? How can what it doesn't take much time for composting, right? Keep your greens are like your wet waste from the kitchen. Give 2 layers of carbon, which is like maybe paper, whichever paper waste you have, or a dry leaves. Let it be for like a month or two. It becomes a soil, and this is again you can use it for your own plants, right? Then you have this connection that there is nothing tampered, like no tampering has done, which chemicals nahi hai isme. You are pretty sure about it, right? When
Yes.
you are taking, bringing it out from outside, even you don't know what they are mixing. So it is like, okay, organic, they'll tell everything is organic, but you don't
Yeah,
know.
but we can't be very sure
Huh.
of it.
But you can be very sure about it. So that is how. And water, and the main thing now, we water depletion has came to that extent that in down the line 20 years we may fight for water, right?
Yes.
There may be so much scarcity of water. How can you reduce water consumption? So how can we make it little sustainable, like when you are what, so how to water, this is very basic thing, but people struggle to understand this. Watering a plant is like they either overwater it or underwater it. So plant just needs a moisture. Plant doesn't need a water or a drenching water or a very dry thing, dry soil. So what happens if you keep your moisture level intact in the soil? The microbial activity is very good. When you overwater them, na, even the microbes, the root system will start decaying. So this is very important thing. Even the farmers, the rice, even rice can be grown without water.
Oh,
But
wow.
the yeah, but the only issue comes is weeds. When that is the only reason why people you keep the stagnation of water in rice fields.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So there are so many things that can be avoided. uh, but even gray water, see in Una farm, whatever water consumption we do every day on a daily basis is going to our banana circle and a papaya circle, which are like flourishing, and the circle is ending. Like I'm taking water soil from the earth, and the water is not going to a drainage system or going to a dumping, like a what you call something, drainage, sewage. So it is going back to earth, and it is refilling my my soil. How
Yeah.
can this be uh, this how can this be implemented in uh, this urban context? How can we do it? So there are many communities in Hyderabad who are recycling the grey water and using it for plantations. This is very good initiative actually, which is commendable.
Wow.
Because there is, if you like, an average house uses a 600 liters of water per day. In a community there are like 100 to 200 houses at a place, then we should know how much water is being consumed, how is it going back, and what is it of like what, how is it being reused. So everything we use should always be reused and recycled, and it should always go back to earth. So that is the main loop of life, which is being missing from since 10 20 years. Earlier it is always like everyone used to have a backyard, everything you eat is going back to the soil. So your mama or papa is going, throwing every food waste into the soil or digging a pit, he's
Yeah.
covering it with soil, and it is already being made soil. Even water, everything used to be like washing clothes is in a backyard, washing utensils is in a backyard, which is under a tree. So the water was used very sensibly, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And one more thing I
But
wanted to
living in apartment system nowadays, we all have, drainage pipes and all, and we don't have much, we cannot like intervene much in this part, right?
No, no, there are people who are separating this gray water and black water since the stage of laying the pipe system, like drainage
Oh,
systems. Yeah, there are people who are doing it right. Like they wanted to recycle, they wanted to do all these things. So they're
okay.
planning it ahead before everything is in a structure. They're planning it. Where does the gray water go and where does the black water go? So we
Yeah.
must,
Can you tell a little about the gray water and black water? What is
yeah.
what?
So gray water is a wastewater which comes from your kitchen, like utensils washing, cloth washing, like washing machine water, and
Okay.
bathing water. These three are called gray water. Okay.
Okay.
Whatever which is used in our toilets, the commode, that is called human, which is mixture of human feces, is called a black water. So black water is never used for uh, used in this gray water. It is
Oh,
always separate. So black water has probabilities of contamination, but not the gray water. That is just soap and some mixture of oil or our food particles, right? Nothing much
yes.
will be having in the gray water. So black water is very crucial. There are systems where black water, even black water, is being filtered and used for agriculture purposes, but not in urban context.
Okay.
Yeah, that's much about it. And how can we what so if you're having plants around your house, most of the people's concern is about pest, right?
Yes.
Every alternate people, like person comes to me and like, how can you control pest? So this, like, I want to tell you a secret. Like, when you are in a group of different kind of people, like you're uh, I'm a permaculture practitioner, you're a software, somebody else is a sportsman. So our needs, our outputs are very different, right?
Yes.
So in the same way, every plant has a different need. So tomatoes has one need, chilies have one need, and moringa has one need. When you plant all this together, they are like a family helping each other. This is called like what we call this as a companion planting. So
Okay.
every plant has a friend and a few, like a enemy. So when you understand this and plant them, it will flourish, believe me. It will
Oh,
flourish. Yeah. And also always think about root system. So tomatoes has a different root system, okras have a different root system. When you can plant one root, one shrub, one taller growing any like moringa, and one herbal plant, there is no point of pest attack, because see, chilies repel pest, okay?
mm-hmm.
And most of the herbs repel pest, like it might be basils, it might be many kind of basils also repel pest, it might be mint, it might be onions repel pest, even
Mm-hmm.
garlic repel pest. So you should think of all these things when you are doing a plantation.
Oh,
This is the basics of growing food. When you have like so many species at one space, even the pest get confused. Acha, where should I go? Acha, should I go for onion? No, it is like, it is repelling. I'm not feeling comfortable going near to the onion. So what it does, it goes back. And even
oh,
if you see, pest means it, you should think about what it is eating. So if you have a tomato, if an insect is eating your leaf, that is okay, fine. If it is eating your tomato, then that is pest. So you should also think if it is pest or it is just an insect surviving on some leaf. So
oh, okay.
yeah, everything. If you see an insect on a plant and you feel it is pest, uh, I don't think you are in the right place. So everything should survive, right? Uh,
Yes.
even bee, even insects, even microorganisms, even birds. So if you have this guild system, like we call it guild, so if you have this guild system, what happens is uh, prey and predator theme comes in. So if there is a pest in your plant, a predator comes and eats months on it. Okay,
Okay.
that is how nature works. So
Yes.
we are getting away from nature so drastically that we are getting disconnected from all these things, uh, from all these basic things. So you should
Yes.
that is very important aspect of farming also. Even I have 1 acre farm, so you hardly find pest, like which is like drastically eating my crop, because I have pests, I have predators, I have birds, bee eating birds, I have insect eating birds which are coming and munching on them. So the cycle is going on, it's not
Yes.
stopping. When your cycle is stopping somewhere, then there is an issue of ecosystem. So we believe in building ecosystem rather than just farming and giving produce to people. That is not at all viable in these days. So that's what I majorly work on. How can you invite birds, how can you invite insects, how can you invite butterflies, how can you integrate animals, even like hens, how can you integrate goats, cows. Every creature has its right to live, and every creature helps in its own way to save soil. Not just we people, there are many millions of creatures and living beings who are constantly working to keep the soil intact and nutritious for us and for the soil also.
Yes, amazing. You're doing a wonderful job. I wish we could have got a chance to see your farm today if the weather was good.
Yeah, it is
But
cloudy. I can't
yeah,
afford going out and sitting around the farm. Sorry for that.
yeah,
Yes. So
no
can
problem.
we like do anyone has any question about anything?
No, there was one question that I've already asked you.
Okay.
Okay, and yeah, people
Can
are
we start
interested.
with our presentation?
Yes, yes, sure.
Yeah.
Can you see my screen now?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, as you can see, this is the situation of Una farm when it was uh, taken control of. This is in the year 2020. This
Okay.
is 20, yeah, 20. And
This
after
one, this one was 2020.
this one, yeah. And
Okay.
this one is 2020, which is after like 6 months or something. So this was really in a very bad state when we took over. It was just barren for almost 10 years, and later
Okay.
we started working on it. Can you just go for the next slide?
Okay. Before we proceed, can you just tell us the meaning of Unna farm?
So
The
una
name.
is, yeah, una is a characteristic of Buddha,
Okay.
uh, which depicts peace and concentration.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that's Urna. It is called Urnam. We made it Urna.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is 2021 after our first rains. We had
Wow.
our this one towards your left.
This.
This was, yeah, this was again, we did not plan anything for the plantation. That was very initial time when I was working, like I was studying permaculture, and I wanted much time to design the farm. Very initial design was this, to just grow anything you have, like there is
Okay.
so people always think about growing natives first, or growing or bringing native seeds, or rather waiting for the native seeds. You can just go for whatever seeds you have. First, grow something on the soil, keep the soil covered. Then you can go for native seeds, buying native seeds, and saving the seeds. So my suggestion for everyone is like, first cover the soil with whatever seeds you get. It
Okay.
might be corns, it might be pigeon pea, it might be anything. Just grow and cover the soil. So this is 2022. I think you can see some shape coming up for the farm.
Yes.
We have
So
trenches.
this is the house that you live in right now?
No, this the other blue color is the house. This is an studio space, working space.
Okay. So this is the house.
Yeah, that is the house. So this
Okay.
house is a container home, which
Oh
again
wow.
we designed by ourselves, keeping the nature's patterns in our minds.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Lovely idea.
Yes.
Can
Yeah,
I
can
change
you?
the slide?
Yeah, next slide.
Okay.
So this was the first image after tilling the land. We just took out all the thorny plants. This was like literally 0.0.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yes,
Can you
can.
tell us the exact location where it is in
So we
Hyderabad?
are located near to Pragati Resorts. If anyone know Pragati Resorts,
Yes,
we are
heard about
located
it.
near to the Pragati Resorts.
Okay, okay.
Yeah,
So can anybody come and visit your farm if they want
yeah,
to?
yeah. Absolutely, absolutely. People are welcome to visit our farm.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Please
Next,
continue.
yeah. Next slide, please.
Yeah.
This was the survey. Geological survey is really important when you are planning for water harvesting systems.
Mm-hmm.
So this was the survey made at the land, and we made some pond and trenches and some swales to stop water from going leaving our farm. So whatever like if it rains, whatever the rain is coming is staying in the farm only. The water is staying in the farm, percolating in the farm. It is not leaving out the farm. So what happens is you are recharging your ecosystem, rather your the water flowing out and the energy flowing out is not at all recommended. So you're
Oh,
recharging it, you're capturing the every drop of rain and soaking it into your soil.
okay.
Yeah.
Lovely.
So, yeah, next. So these are our recharge pits and swales and trenches. So this is the pond, the upper one. First one
Okay.
is the pond.
This one.
Yeah,
Okay.
this one is the pond. It is like now we made it 20 feet. It used to always be like filled up. Now we made
Uh-huh.
it 20 feet. Yeah. Now
Okay.
this
So this is where the rainwater gets collected?
yeah, it gets collected and seeps in.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, this is the second slide. You can see this is
This
the
one?
rainwater harvested from the roofs of the shed and
Oh,
container also. Yeah,
okay.
and it is also pumped into our bores. We have tanks, underground tanks. We just
Mm-hmm.
collect the rainwater in the tanks for further use.
Okay.
Yeah.
And this one?
Next, this is the trench.
Okay.
So we had a slope from top area,
Mm-hmm.
very less than 5%. So we wanted to catch the water, stop the water, so it can go very slowly.
Okay.
Yeah,
Amazing.
yeah.
Wow.
So this is called diversity.
Mm-hmm.
If anybody can tell me how many saplings, how many plants are growing in, there are I can identify 8 to 9 different vegetables, flowers, gods growing in this patch.
Oh, wow.
Yes, this is how you should always cover the soil. No matter you want to eat it, it doesn't matter. You should always cover the soil. This
Okay.
is in rainy season.
So this is what you were talking about,
Yeah,
companion planting.
yeah, companion planting.
Oh, wonderful.
Yes.
So we can see marigolds here, and
Yeah.
I cannot identify the other ones.
Rosalas, ragi, if you know ragi is millet, uh,
Uh-huh.
and ridgegard,
Oh, okay.
radishes, and cluster beans, and
Oh,
chilies, and there
Wow.
is some weeds growing in the background.
Okay.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
do you plan everything like this will go in this first row and then the second row will be this plant? Or...
Yeah, yeah, we will plan according to the height also, because you should also think about sun direction when you're planting something against to sun direction. The
Uh-huh.
smaller plant cannot have the sun, right? Sunlight to
Yes.
grow, so we plan everything. Key
Oh,
how
wow.
much this plant should have sun, because there are plants which only need 4 hours of sunlight. There are plants which need 6 hours of sunlight.
Uh-huh. So
So we
there's
need to plan
extensive
according.
planning and thinking that goes into this,
Yes, yes, yes.
not a random thing.
Not a random thing at all.
Yeah.
Yeah. Next slide, please. So this was taken in a rainy season. You can see the
Mm-hmm.
tomatoes, earthworm coming out, corns coming out. So it was like a very magical moment.
Lovely.
Yeah. Next slide, please. This was our initial crop when we wanted. We were not in a stage to think about what to plant. We just
Mm-hmm.
broadcasted corns.
Okay.
So we did not take that much of output from it. We just chopped and dropped everything, like,
Okay.
to cover the soil and to regenerate it.
All right.
Yeah,
So the area around your farm is also looking very beautiful.
yeah,
There are a
that
lot
is
of
rainy
trees
season,
and
na? Yes,
green.
yes.
Okay, okay.
Yeah,
So these little animals that we say that are goats or something that
yeah,
are also
goats.
in your farm
No, no,
that are
no. Those
yours.
are the other farmers' goats.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah. Next. So this slide I want to talk about. All this which you see are weeds. Nothing was
okay.
planted. These are all weeds. But there is a reason why even weeds are very important in ecosystem, right? When a weed is coming out, so what we believe is it depicts a deficiency. So when there is a
Yeah.
deficiency in your soil, certain kind of weeds come and they bring out that deficient material upwards to your soil. So we
Okay,
never pluck out our weeds until and unless it is really bothering our plants. We just let them grow simultaneously with our crops.
okay. But there is this saying, right? If the weeds are growing with your plant, it will, not let the plant grow because it will take all the nutrition from the soil.
So that is what we even talked initially. Every plant has a different need. So this there is a misconception that all plants need the same minerals, same energy, same vitamins, or same this thing from the soil. But there are, if you look at this is very good fodder crop. Like,
Uh-huh.
it is very good for goats as
Okay,
a fodder. And when and it is also very good for soil. It fixes the nitrogen. So this is a legume plant which fixes the nitrogen. So you need it. You should always first think about what the plant is, how is, what are the factors that affect your plant when you plant it in a certain area. So if it is nitrogen fixing, it is helping your plant also, na? So you should
yes.
also always consider it, rather just plucking them out and just burning them doesn't make
Mhm.
any sense. So in
Okay,
nature has designed everything in a certain way which helps in coexisting.
yes. What are these tall trees that we see here? The big ones? Are these also planted by you? Hello, Shilpa, are you there? Maybe she had a connection problem as there was a little bad weather at her farm. Hyderabad is experiencing a little rainfall these days. Shilpa, can you hear me? Are you with me? Okay, so we've lost her. She will be connecting back with us soon. Maybe she had some problem with her connection. Just hang on with us and we'll be connecting with her soon. Hello, can you hear me now? I'm not able to hear you, Shilpa. You're not audible. Is your mic unmute? Yeah, still can't hear you. Can you please unmute your mic or check if you have allowed permission for mic? Maybe you can reconnect again because I really can't hear you. Try reconnecting again. Maybe you can disconnect and connect back. Hello. No, still no audio. I can see you, but I cannot hear you. Check if your mic is turned on, if you have allowed access. Could you try connecting from your phone, maybe? If that works. You connected from your phone. I can lip read you. Okay, but I can't hear you. So sorry. I don't know what the problem is.
Hello.
Yeah, got you back now. Finally.
Thank God. Yeah, can
Okay,
we
let
just go for the slides?
yes, let me start
Sorry,
again.
sorry for the
No
disturbance.
problem. Yeah, the weather is
Yeah,
unpredictable.
it's windy outside. I don't know. It may rain now.
Yeah, sure. Let's continue.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was asking about these tall trees that you have here. Were these planted by you?
No, the tamarinds, na, those are 25-year-old trees which are
Oh,
like
wow.
gifted by nature for us.
Oh,
They are like
lovely.
wonderful trees.
Okay, so this was the tree that you said you will be sitting under and talking if the weather
Yeah,
is
yeah,
good.
that was the tree.
Oh, lovely. You missed it.
Yeah,
No worries. Okay. Can you see the slides?
not yet.
Not yet. I am
Yeah,
sharing. Are you able to see the slide now?
no,
No?
no.
Wait.
Now I can see.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is like next stage of my plantation where I had done cow pea, like pigeon pea, for its
Okay.
leaf litter, which
Mhm.
is very good for soil regeneration and it is very good nitrogen fixer also. Now you can clearly see our trench. It's
Yes,
like a
this one,
very,
right? Yeah, I was
yeah,
just looking
yeah.
at this. Yeah.
And you can also see that ragi has fallen down because of unexpected rains.
Oh, this ragi.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that is all the
Uh-huh.
ragi that has fallen down. Like,
Oh.
there are so many mistakes and learnings when you are doing farming. It is always learning. It is like
Uh-huh.
literally every day is a new learning for you. And
Yes.
yeah, can we go for
So,
the next
and
one?
this is the pit that you were talking
Yeah,
about.
yeah, that is a pond. And
Okay.
interestingly, we have such a good soil. We use the same soil for our earth building workshops. So whenever we are in need of soil, we just dig it for a little bit, and we use the same soil for our construction also. All these
Oh.
walls which you see in this poster, like in this picture,
Yeah.
those are all mud walls.
Oh,
Yeah,
wonderful.
yes. So there are so many possibilities of using earth as a construction material, but we are in lack of knowledge, basically.
Yes.
Yeah. Can we go for, yeah?
Yeah.
So this is like before plantation and after plantation. I think you can see the difference.
Yes.
The time difference is like 7 months.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, 7 months. It was like a forest for me.
Lovely. Beautiful.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. So this is all in rainy season.
Okay.
This is how it looks when it rains. This is December,
Okay.
winter season. So in this you have so many things growing, including weeds. I
Oh.
don't bother weeds growing at all. It
Oh.
is really helpful for the soil in one or the other way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What is this small tower-like thing, house-like thing
So
here?
this is some art installation which was done by Harsha. He's an artist.
Okay.
So
Okay.
he was trying out something like to have in the farm.
Okay. I
Yeah.
thought that is also a part of something
No, 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 no. Yeah.
permaculture.
So yeah, this is the harvest.
Okay.
Our sweet
Sweet
potato
potatoes.
harvest. Yeah. And this
Lovely.
is the picture on the right is taken on the rainy season. You can see almost 12 varieties of plants and trees growing in this. There
Oh,
are there is turmeric, there is rosella, there is PGNP, bananas, papayas, uh,
wow.
and so many I forgot. Beetroots also were growing in the same patch. It is
Oh,
like like what you say. I cannot tell.
it's
It's
like a
so
mini jungle.
green. It is like a mini jungle. When you leave the soil and the plants to grow, they overtake and they regenerate your soil really, really good.
Yeah.
We intervene in everything. We want everything in a certain way. We stop like growth. We don't want dry leaves being seen. We don't want leaf litters to be seen. We don't want weeds to be seen. So we
Mm-hmm.
need to somewhere have a balance and let the nature take over.
Just like it happens in forests,
Like
all the
that
plants
is
are
what
growing
I believe.
together.
Yeah, in
Yes.
forest, who is going and like pruning the trees? No one is
Yeah.
going and pruning or giving something like giving what you call uh,
Taking care of the plants over
taking
there.
care of the
Yeah.
plants or trees, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Next slide.
Lovely.
These are so here also near the snake guard you can just see 5 to 6 plants growing snake guard. This is cosmos, chilies, grass, which is native. I don't know how it came. Rosella is coming out from there. Karela is coming. So there are so many things growing at one single space.
Oh, wow.
That is how ecosystem gets its balance. These are all
Yes.
from one patch. All these vegetables you are seeing are from one
Uh-huh.
patch.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Next slide, please. This is one native vegetable which I am growing here, which is
Mm-hmm.
like very hard to find now. We call it kasarka in Telugu.
Okay.
So I wanted to have that picture. And this is called raised bed. When you see your right slide, It is called
Yeah, this
raised bed, and we are planting tapioca in this. So
okay
yeah, so this is one kind of growing growing
method.
plants where you raise your bed when you have a soil which is very clayey. You
Mm-hmm.
opt for this method. So what
Okay,
happens now, when you water, the water percolates, the roots get water, but that doesn't stagnate the roots. So it
okay.
percolates inside. Only the water required by the roots are taken, and the rest is going into the soil.
Oh, all
Yeah.
right. So, how
Yes.
many people are there on your farm to take care of all the things? Or
None. I take care of the farm. Me and
alone?
her. Yeah, and volunteers. We have some
Okay,
volunteers who come and stay with us and
okay,
work on the farm.
all right.
Yeah.
Amazing. So that's your
So this
full
is.
time project now, the farm.
Huh, yes. So I do teaching. I do workshops like on the permaculture. We do on, and we do collaborations with people for other workshops also. That is part of Urna Farm.
Oh,
Education is a part of Urna Farm.
lovely.
Yeah. So this is a community project where I have trained all these ladies in a basic tailoring, and we also started our natural dyeing thing. Now we are into making bags, like cotton bags. So
Okay.
yeah, so we are doing like we want women to be empowered, and be a part of, we want to be a part of a village community where women can, there is no need for women to go out in the sun and do a labor work to have some minimum wage getting in. So this is some kind of self-help group we want to establish, so they can just sit at home and earn some like minimum wages without going out and taking all the pain.
Yes, yes.
Yeah,
Amazing idea.
thank you. So foraging, this is what I was telling. All these leaves you see, this is a taro leaf. Like you, whatever you see are foraged. All the wild leaves.
Okay.
Uh, Everything can be. Every leaf is edible. But the
Oh,
thing is, we are commercial market has become such. We don't know most of the leaves. We
yes.
don't have the knowledge of what what can be eaten. Like every leaf is so nutritious and seasonal and medicinal.
Uh-huh.
We are very getting disconnected from this
So
foraging.
all these leaves that are here on the in this picture, this they can be cooked and eaten.
Yeah, yeah, cooked and eaten, that's it.
Okay.
Like
Yeah.
your normal palak, there is but taro leaves you need to pre-boil it for
Mm-hmm.
some remediation. Otherwise
Okay.
everything is like you can just use as a palak. We
Okay.
call it as a kalagura, where we use 12 different leaves and
Mm-hmm.
consume it in a certain season.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
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 we
like
had
that.
one workshop on the forgotten vegetables of India. So you're
Uh-huh.
talking about something similar to that now.
Is it Sarjapur curries?
Yes, yes,
Yeah, I know him, Suresh. We just met in
yes.
Bangalore.
Yeah, from Bangalore. So he
Nice.
was
Yeah,
talking
yeah.
about the vegetables, the wild growing vegetables that are forgotten.
Forgotten, really.
Yeah.
These are really nutritious, and that is what we should eat, depending
Yes.
upon our area where we live. That
Area,
is what we should
exactly.
be consuming.
Yeah, we should
So
be
in this
growing them more
picture,
and
yeah.
encouraging
So
people
in
to
that,
consume.
so growing also doesn't make like growing. You don't need really a care to take for them. They
Yes.
grow wildly. The
Yeah.
thing is, you just need to plug them and eat them. That's it. They
Yeah.
grow wildly, literally wildly. But we are in some really different world, living different
Yes.
life. So in this right slide, you can see the thorny brinjal. You cannot find
Mm-hmm.
this in a market. Whatever
Okay.
you find in a market is like normal brinjal, which is a DNA modified.
Uh-huh.
These are the brinjals. There are mostly 10 types of brinjal varieties,
Okay.
which, yeah, which we don't know. And in beans, there are 30 mostly 30 varieties of beans.
Oh, wow.
But we only get to see one or two. The
One or
two,
two, yes.
yeah. So seed saving is also one big aspect of how to take forward all these native seeds.
So
So
you
that
do
is
that
one.
as well?
Yeah, I do that also. So I
Oh,
started
great.
my seed bank last year.
Uh-huh.
Now I have 7 to 8 varieties of beans.
Oh,
So
wow.
I'm just conserving them. Yeah.
So this
Next.
brinjal is different from the brinjal that we get in the market.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, so this is widely grown one.
Yeah. Wildly grown. No
So
need to take care of it. It just gives brinjals like
does it
as soon
taste the
as,
same?
yeah, tastes very different, very tasty.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. Next slide, please.
Okay.
See, this is what I was talking about, multi-layered. So
Uh-huh.
layers, how you have your layers. So I think everyone can read this. Red copy is this that is like a shrub to the plot. Okay, red okra. There are so many kinds of okra in the same plot.
Mm-hmm.
Peanuts are again tubers like which are grown underground. Radish again, which goes deep into the soil and nourishes the soil. Chilies are again top vegetable which grows on the soil. Carrots again under root. Chrysanthemum is flower which attracts bees for the pollination. Marigold repels most of the nematodes in the soil. It
Okay.
acts as a very pesticide for the soil. And the sun hemp, which attracts again birds and bees because of their yellow color flowers, and it is a nitrogen fixer. And there are beetroots also in there. So you can grow so many things at single plot, and also enrich your soil
Mm.
simultaneously. It's not like पहले हम खाएंगे उसके बाद soil का. It's going hand in hand. So it is
Yes.
growing, we are getting, again soil is also getting balancedly. So this is where I think fair share is happening. So I
Mm-hmm.
get something, soil get something, birds get something, insects get something. So we are coexisting, like we are planning to coexist.
Oh,
Yeah,
yes.
in a single. Yes. The next slide, please.
Yeah.
So these are some tubers and rhizomes. Tubers and rhizomes also play a major part in soil regeneration. The deeper the roots, the healthier the soil. What I
Okay.
believe. So this is purple yam
Mm-hmm.
towards your left, and this is black ginger.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Black ginger.
yes, black ginger, very medicinal.
Oh, wow.
Yes. Next slide, please. So so I was talking about nitrogen fixing, right?
Yeah.
Why you should have nitrogen fixers. So you can see the nodules in this picture towards your right. There are some nodules which are like bumps on the roots. So these nodules uh, catch the nitrogen and from the atmosphere and fixes
Uh-huh.
into the soil, which helps the root system grow very well.
Okay.
So that is how we fix the nitrogen. Normally, what people farmers do is they use this NPK. They just
Uh-huh.
throw the NPK into the soil, which is again a chemical, which is very heavy for the soil to absorb and give it back to the plant.
Okay.
So this is a natural way where you just plant a tree. It is taking care of everything, nothing to be done. After you
Yes.
grow this plant, you can just stop and drop. Again, it is coming back to the soil, becoming a soil.
Yes.
Yeah, the yeah. Next slide, please.
So everything that you do on your farm is organic.
Yes, not just. I don't think it is organic. It is natural. So there is
Natural.
very much difference between organic and natural.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. So
Lovely.
this picture is taken right before 4 days before the like uh, workshop. So
Oh,
this
wow.
summer is like very dry. So
Uh-huh.
whatever you are seeing is just sustaining in with very minimal water input.
Okay.
Yeah, whatever is growing because of the mulch we are doing on it. So we do 4 inches mulch for every batch. Like whatever
Okay.
patches you see, we have 4 inches mulch on it. And so
Okay.
when very less so amount of water is taken for the given for the plants.
Okay.
Yeah.
So whatever the water the plant gets is from the soil or from the rains.
From the so we water them like in 4 days, once in a 4 days,
Okay.
not like daily giving them water. Once
All
we water, the water retains for 4 days because of the mulching. So there is
okay.
no much of evaporation because of sun, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Yeah, next. So this is mulching. I was talking about you can use anything, whatever you
Uh-huh.
find. So we used cardboards, we used our maize crop waste, we used rice husk. So whatever browns you have, you can just cover the ground with the browns.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Next
now
slide.
that there is storm and there's heavy rains,
Huh?
your farm will be looking better now.
Yeah, yeah. So seed saving, I involve my son in every aspect of farming. He
Oh,
knows
wow.
what to do, when to do, why to do. Uh,
Oh, that's
so it
wonderful.
is really very important for the kids to be involved in this very art of farming, art of growing food.
Yes. How old is he?
9 years old.
Oh, wow.
So he is saving the seeds. So these are the seeds I was mentioning, and I
Mm-hmm.
have four more varieties. So
Okay.
most of them are beans only. So
Oh,
beans grow wildly. There is nothing we should take care of. Just
okay.
sow the seed and leave it. It just gives you output like hell.
Oh,
Yeah. Next slide, please. See, insect diversity. So, insects are a very major part in farming of any kind. So these are like pollinators. These carry pollens from one flower to other, and not just one kind of insect. There are many kinds of insects which are really helpful. We are in a we think that insect is not good for the farming, but if there is no insect, then you're not farming. As simple as that. They
okay.
are part of farming. Yeah. Just wanted to show what there are more images, but I don't find that.
But these look beautiful insects.
Yeah,
These are the beautiful ones that you have
yeah,
captured.
yeah, yeah. So this is grey water, where
Mhm.
our water from the bathrooms and kitchens come and collect. So
Oh,
all the bananas you see in your right slide are grown 1 year old, which are grown
okay.
only on the grey water. We
Oh,
don't
wow.
feed them water like on a daily purpose.
Oh,
Whatever water we use for the waste is what they have.
wonderful.
Yeah. Next slide, please. So these are the workshops we conduct. This is one of the kids workshop. You can see how kids are enjoying the workshop.
Yeah. So, what do you teach kids?
We teach the cob technique, which is just only earth and hay, which is
Okay.
uh, that is a very best technique for kids to enjoy. So
All
if
right.
you have learned like listened about it, it's the very ancient technique where we used to build our homes just by having a clay balls laying one upon each other.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that is the technique which we teach for the kids. And there is no cement used in this technique.
Okay.
Yeah,
So, do you teach them about farming also?
yeah. I have workshops that are being conducted for kids only for permaculture workshops.
Oh, wow. So, what
Yeah,
age group of children do you take for workshops?
9 to 13 years age I prefer, because
Okay.
little younger are still not that capable of
Understanding.
understanding what it is. 9 to
Yes.
13 is like pretty much good age where we can start telling them about what how where does the food come from, how can you save seeds, what
Mm-hmm.
goes into growing food, how much effort is being done to get food on your plate. Otherwise they don't understand, they just throw out the food, right? So when
Yes, yes.
I saw kids take telling me that I'm not going to waste food from here on.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so if I don't like something, I'll just tell my mama I'm not going to eat this, please don't give me that, I don't want to waste food from my
Waste.
plate. Yeah.
Oh, so sweet.
Yes. Next, this is a kids permaculture workshop. There were like 15 kids
Mm-hmm.
from age 9 to 13. Very, very interesting group.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, they come, they stay at your farm, or they come and they leave?
No, they come and they leave.
Okay.
Yeah, the workshop is like from morning 9 to 3 o'clock.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
So, one
And
day workshop.
yeah, 1 day workshops.
All right.
So this is a rammed workshop where again earth is used as a main base for this, and we
Okay.
use a little bit of cement for stabilization.
Uh-huh.
So this is one kind of earthen wall, which is
This one
very
here.
very, yeah, very
Wow.
very interesting.
Yeah, it has many colors here.
Yeah, yes. So this soil is our own farm soil only.
Oh, wow. Very
Yeah,
beautiful. It's looking like
yeah,
some artwork done on that
yeah,
wall.
yeah. So there are many possibilities of earth using earth materials. So this is called powder. This is one other kind of earthen technique to build walls where we pour earth. So there is a mixture of earth and little bit of cement and make it a
Mhm.
slurry. Pour into shutters. You can see the shutter, right, on the
Mhm.
right
Yes.
side. Yeah,
Yes. Yeah.
we pour it and we let it be for a day. Then we remove the shutter. Your wall is ready. No
This one.
plastering. No, yeah.
So, how sturdy and how strong is this wall?
This is as strong as more stronger
Cement.
than your cement walls. Actually,
Oh, wow.
yeah. So these
Wonderful.
are all ancient techniques which are like
Okay.
uh, huh,
Forgotten.
forgotten.
Oh,
Yes.
wonderful. So
Yeah.
this wall is made from the earth from your farm.
Yeah. From our farm only.
Oh, wow.
Huh.
Wonderful. You're taking us back into history.
Yes. You need to go back, na.
Yes, amazing.
So
That's
this
all.
is Urna Farm. Thank you. Yes.
Very beautiful presentation. Really loved it.
Thank you.
And you have a very beautiful farm. This is a signboard on your farm. Beautiful.
Yes. Thank you.
And you have an interesting entrance. It looks like a bamboo ladder here.
That is a ladder actually.
Yeah,
We
very
used a
interesting.
ladder.
Wonderful idea.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah, it was a lovely presentation, and thank you for talking us through it and telling us so much
Pleasure, pleasure.
about urban permaculture.
Yeah, I
So,
hope
yeah,
there is some takeaway, and that I hope people will start taking earth care seriously.
yes, yes, absolutely. People have enjoyed your workshop a lot, and yes, again, I would like to tell you, if you want to connect with Shilpa, you can check out her Instagram page, Urna Farm, and the link is there in the description box below. You can check it out. You can connect with her. You, if you are living around Hyderabad or in Hyderabad, we are based in Hyderabad, as you know. Our or affordable organic store. We are from Hyderabad, and yeah, so Shilpa is also from Hyderabad. And if you like to visit her farm, anytime you can contact her, and I think
Yes.
she'd be more than happy to have you.
Yes, definitely. Please.
And she's having some
Please.
amazing workshops as well for kids. It's very important to start our kids at an early stage, so that they are the next generation. If they learn now, they will help the mother earth revive and make it a better planet.
Yes.
Okay, thank you everyone for joining us today, and thank you so much, Shilpa, for such a
Thank
wonderful
you.
workshop with us.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Most welcome. We wish you all the very best with your farm, and yeah, keep doing your amazing work,
Yeah.
and keep teaching people about your knowledge. Keep spreading your magic.
Sure. Yes.
Thank you
Definitely.
so much for today.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.